All right, good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. What we're going to go through today is, like we do every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, this is Bruce, is go through the live order flow and answer your questions, look at any markets you guys want, and also go through strategies, setups, trading management, etc. So get your questions in. What do you want to take a look at? Good morning, now, Luis, etc. If you're over in YouTube, you may want to also come over into Discord and partake in our community. Lots of stuff going on over here. So let's get started here. All right. So first, the risk disclosure, and then we're going to jump right into the order flow. And I've got a lot of things to cover with you guys today, so it should be good. We had non-farm earlier today, and you can see the bullish activity that's occurring right now in the markets. And I have a trade to go over with you guys as well. So general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's take a look here. Beautiful move into on the S&P E-mini futures product here to 47.50 and still going here, still going. Lots of momentum in here, lots of big volume in here, as you guys can see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to trade up into this 55 up here. Look at the buying. Look at the power behind it. 60s next. Now, that's just the current read right now, and that's just shooting from the hip here. We're going to get pullbacks. It's going to take a bit. We may even see tremendous selling coming in, taking profit. But we do know this right now. This is a really strong move. This liquidity here didn't even really stop the markets. It went through it, it kind of came back, retested, bounced off it, and we're still finding buyers here. Therefore, at this point, in this context, we are still looking for the market to go into 55 and then to 60. Okay? As simple as that. Right? Now look at the order book supporting it underneath, and what's the reaction? Buyers. So we're still looking for buyers to continue here. Okay? This is classic order flow in here. What is the reaction to these limit buy orders at these higher levels here? See this? See this unfolding? And this is on a bit more zoomed out time frame. So yeah, we're just looking for the next level of liquidity. 55 is already traded. We're looking for the next level, which would be up here at 60. Okay, now that's just the order flow reading. Okay? Now, secondly, but behind that, manage your trades, manage your risk, take some off at 55. Look for the continuation in here. Move your stop up to break even, therefore, you're looking for something certain to happen, or more certain, more higher probability to unfold, and then reduce your risk. Okay, and then you can always add more risk if you see something unfold again, like maybe right here, right now. Okay, now it's not a trade recommendation again, but look at the order book and look at, we're finding buyers. So can we get more buyers back up above this 56 level here? Okay, actually now we're starting to see some selling coming in. Okay, so it's not over yet. We can still get buyers above it, and we do. Okay, now we're looking for our 60 level. All right, now let me see. I don't know if Rob's in here today. Let's take a quick look. Rob, there you are. Okay. We've been talking a lot about momentum, Rob, and understanding some of these moves. Now, this here is what we're leaning on. I want, because we had the Bookmap Academy meeting yesterday. We went over one of Rob's images, and the image that we went over was showing a period in the market that I thought was a difficult read. Slowdown actually went over it, and I gave some really good feedback to you, Rob. Go, I'm sure you went through it in detail, but anyway, what I had mentioned in here was more along the lines of this. See all of this here? That's what we're leaning on. Okay, until we see something different. Right now, we see a little bit of a difference here right now, actually. Okay, so that's why we reduce the risk up here at 55. We're still looking for 60. And if you did get in, it was not a recommendation. Okay, but if you did get in at this 56 because we saw more buyers starting to come in, take your stop loss at break even here. Okay, it went up to like 58 or so. It should have gone to 50. Sellers came in. The order book starts to show more orders here on the offer. We don't know. We're starting to see a lot of sellers come in. Look at this whole move on the way up. Okay, there's been this selling, a little bit of selling here, and a little bit of selling here. There's a lot more selling here, right? So anyway, now you can always get back in. Now see how we're starting to get those buyers again? Now I'm certainly looking for it to go to 60, right? So you wouldn't have lost any, and then you're getting back in and you're looking for that higher probability to unfold, okay? And then take your profit up at 60, okay? Or at least reduce some risk at 60, right? So we're starting to see though, like even the trend, see how it broke here a bit. So it's still in an uptrend. It didn't make a lower high or lower low here. So we're still seeing it, but we're starting to see some selling coming in too, right? And we're reducing a risk along the way. So here again, this is not a surprise to see more sellers starting to come in, right? So this is a really important point. Now, this point is exactly what we're talking about in, if you go to our learning center, let me show you guys this. If you go to bookmap.com, and then you go to the more button here and go to the under resources, go to the learning center here. Okay. And in here we have a course that we're putting together. It's a work in progress. We have one setup in here, but in multiple videos. A continuation pattern. It's a flag pattern in here. The first one goes through it in diagram, so you understand the concept and burn this into your memory. This is what you're looking for. And then the second one is being able to see that in diagram form to now make the transition between that and then seeing it in Bookmap. And here it is here. And then the next one, the third one here is the most important, is going over the execution. Also having this list here together of what you're looking for. It's the same list that we also offer in Bookmap here with this add-on. It's free. Development put it together quite quickly, and it is setups checklist. Where is it? Here it is. All right, and yeah, so again, the concept is we're leaning on and grading these order flow elements in here, just like in the video from the Learning Center. Okay, so identifying trap traders for the breakout here, and develop scenarios on what might unfold here. Okay, so now the next one, and you check them off as you go through them, and then you can also grade them in here. So I'm actually going to bypass this one because I don't see too much of a trap. There's some trap sellers in here, but this is a fundamental event, so it's different. Then steep, large price move with strong relative volume. We definitely have that. I would give this like a 9 or even a 10. It's looking great here. It's super steep. It's super strong. Let's just give it a 10. A measured move. Okay, so as you go through this, you can see what I'm trying to get at is in here. You are leaning on all of this previous order flow in here to give you an edge, and for you to take and higher likelihood for the trade to work out in your favor, okay, by understanding the previous activity in here. Okay, so measured move, for example, let's take a quick look and what I mean by this in here. Okay, well, this is a pretty strong move here. And let's edit this here. Hold on a minute. Here we go. All right. So this is a pretty strong move. Okay. Well, how does it relate to another area in here? Well, this is even stronger, right? So this has got a lot of momentum. Look how it blazed through all of this high liquidity in here, bounces off of it. What was resistance is now support, and we continue on up. Okay, so we're still looking for it to go higher until it doesn't. And we started to note that slowdown starting to happen over here, right in here. Okay, that selling that we noticed earlier. Okay, so we started to reduce some risk. Now look at the selling coming in. Look at the selling coming in. Look at the buyers. Compare that relative volume to the buyers. Look at the buyers here. Okay, buyers look pretty good up here, you know, at that point, but then a lot of selling came back in, right? So anyway, my point is here, if you guys, instead of looking at the here and the now right away and then having some sort of expectations based on a pattern, I think it's not doing you, it's doing a disservice. It's not helping you. Instead, what is helping more is being able to understand all of this previous activity to create a foundation and lean upon that for creating better decisions. Then look for your pattern. Okay, it is more likely to play out. Right, so that's the idea in here, and that's what I wanted to cover with you. All right, let's continue on a minute. Yeah, we had a great webinar yesterday with the Bookmap Junior Academy. If you guys are interested in that, let me show you where that is. It's on YouTube. Okay, hold on a minute. Go to our YouTube channel. I just want to show this to you because we just had it yesterday. It's a live coaching and mentoring in here. You might want to watch it. It's right on our homepage there on YouTube. You can see it. And then you can see us covering people's trades in here. Okay, so we go through it, we coach them, we give feedback on their documentation and journalization of their trading activity. Okay, if you guys are interested in this, it's really simple to sign up for it. Go to bookmap.com, click on the More button, go to Bookmap Academy, and I can put this link into the chat for you as well. All right. So I'll put it in now. Tube, there you go. Yeah, so just read through it. You'll see what the program's all about. Ask questions if you like. All right. Okay, so let's come back in here and see what's going on now. All right, well, we're seeing a reversal take place. Guys, this is a beautiful reversal as well. This is why up at 60, and you can see it looks like we just came shy of it. Let me take a quick look. No, we traded right into 60 and it did transact up here. Only 181, but it did trade up here right into that high liquidity, and then we don't see it afterwards. Okay, here you can see 213 contracts. After that, 120. Okay, so about half of them traded there. Okay, and then the sellers come in. Okay, a little bit of back and forth in here. Buyers, sellers. A bit more selling, a bit more buying. Now, understand again, this is why we cover these strong moves. Look at the strong move here. Compare it to some of these other moves in here. How does this look? Okay, the other strongest move in here is that's kind of comparable would be maybe this one in terms of volume, but this is even stronger, it looks to me, quite a bit. So this is a shift away from an area in here. And this is what they call moving away from the inside out. Okay, so what is a value area in the back and forth in here, sellers come in and move it away from it, and we don't come back. Okay, they're moving it away from that, is exploring other areas of to find and understand what is the value of the instrument at this point, as sellers have taken control of it, until we find enough buyers to come in. Okay, so look at the order book in here. It's a great, these are great examples today. It's giving us really good examples in here of order flow. The move up through this high liquidity, continue it on up into high liquidity. We see the sellers start to come in. Sellers come in. It would have been better to see even a little bit more on the offer at lower areas. You can see it a little bit in here. It's not so distinct though, but look at this though. Here, note how we broke out from this range here, and we see this little kind of back and forth, and then the continuation. Look where buyers are lined up. Okay, a lot of buyers are lined up. Okay, so between 42.5 on up to 45.5, that's a lot. That's a lot of liquidity in here in the order book, and they want to buy. Okay, at least at this point, it looks like they want to buy at a higher level. Okay, and then now the context is starting to come into play here. Well, do we find buyers like shy or sellers shy away from this area? Do we find buyers like going to move it away before they can get into this liquidity? Maybe this is just a low volume pullback, and then we find sellers that are looking to deal with the buyers down here, and you would still be bullish if we can trade into this area and we start to see those buyers come back in. All right, so a lot of good things in here. It's a lot of liquidity in here. All right, let's see if there's any questions. Lucas, you're looking at the sweeps, okay? So are you looking at, Lucas, are you looking at the sweeps indicator or market pulse sweeps, or just the sweeps in general? We can add sweeps in here. And here it is. Okay. I'll put it in automatic mode for now. And then you see how it went from 50 to 205 here, and then it is deselected in here. This will change automatically for the sweeps indicator. However, now I'm going to deselect it, and it remains still at 205. Okay, so we'll wait until we can look at the sweeps indicator on chart here, but we can also add it to market pulse. So let me know what you want to look at, Lucas. Happy to go through it. All right, guys. Well, anyway, you can see that a little bit of back and forth right now. So some buyers starting to come in at this higher level here, but we're unable to break above the 50 level here at this time. We're below 50 now. Okay, now here comes the retest. Let's take a look at these buyers in here. Okay, we're going to zoom in a little bit closer and looking for buyers up here around 50. Here they come. All right, I'm looking for them to break this. They should be able to break this here. We have buyers here. We have buyers here. They're coming back again. We don't have many sellers here. So I'm looking for buyers to lift this now. Okay, this is kind of reading the order flow in here, reading the auction. And what do we see? Right, and where are they going to go? Well, probably up to about maybe 54, 55. Look at them pull here on the offer. I don't see them adding much in the order book here. We do see an algo. Looks like an initial algo. Yeah. No, actually, I take that back. This algo to me actually looks like it transacted right here. So this guy was probably caught. You know, he was short in those areas, and he's probably trying to get out. And he chased the market there. That algo kind of chased up here. Okay, different than an ignition algo by understanding that behavior in here. Ignition algo is something that maybe tries to skew the order book in a manner that, and they don't have any intent on getting filled. And if that's the case, well, then what is their goal? Well, it's probably to skew the order book, show demand on the bid, and try to get people to, to buy. Anyway, again, guys, like, do you understand? Let me know if you have any questions on this auction up here. Okay, again, still looking for another move back up to about 55 here. Okay, I would have taken some off here though at this 52 or 53 because this is where the sellers came in and moved it lower. And then I may consider getting in more here. We'll see. I don't see enough buyers in here yet. And it would just be for a scalp up into 55. Okay, but I would still be in a position here. My stop would be moved up as well. Okay, I'm just leaning on, again, this behavior in here, looking for the pop up into just a small area here, and that's it, right? And reduce some risk. Make sense? You know, if it makes sense. Not many questions here today. Not many questions at all. Guys, let me know. I think some of you guys, I don't know if you're in here today, but you wanted to go over, or they reached out, and there was a few people. I know one recent one was about covering the, what is it? The strength indicator in Bookmap. Okay, there's our move up into 55, guys. So let's check this out. This is where, yeah, you know, yeah, I would take some off here, I think. And then maybe if we can get back up again and find buyers again, look for 57. Yeah, might as well take some off here. It traded up to this high liquidity up in here. They did pull that away though. That's why I would consider staying in it. The one thing that I don't like though is the and we covered, Stan covered this nicely yesterday, talking about the liquidity underneath in here. We want to see that skew of that order book, demand in the order book underneath here. We want to see them pull on the offer, and we want to see these buyers, aggressive buyers, move that market higher. And then we would target 56, 57, or 56.5 and 57. That makes sense. Okay, so then in hindsight, that makes us look like a you know, brilliant. We took some off here, stop at break even, we're out. Okay. All right, so there's a move from about a 5-point move with some scaling out along the way. All right, so that said, you know, I want to go over a couple of trades that I took this morning, and just, you know, I have it here in Bookmap, and just it's kind of, it was only for a brief time, so I wasn't in the market for very long. And these are scalps, okay, kind of between some meetings here. Yeah, it starts down here, okay, and just go over some of the trade management that I was looking at in here. Okay, so I want to go through my decision process in here. First off, do I have an edge? Okay, so let's take a look in here. So we know that there's pretty strong buying coming in here. Here's our non-farm over here, the move to the downside, and then we see this back and forth in here. We see the move back up above here, above the non-farm before the data came out. and then we see the pullback here. Now I'm looking for another move, and because of this here and the non-farm event, let me mark it up. Okay, I'm not too sure if we're going to get a move. Ooh, I'm going to make this smaller. Sorry. There we go. Okay, I'm not too sure. You know, if it's just going to come back up in here, maybe pierce this and then see heavy selling come back in, right? Instead, yeah, because we do have the strong buying in here, and it did make it through. We did get a pullback. Now I'm looking for see where these guys came in here. See this little kind of jag in the market. In fact, you can see it in multiple places in here. Here's the swing here, right? And then it broke up above and then kind of jagged down, and then broke up above again. I'm sorry. Let me go through that again. Okay. So there's another little jag right in here. There's also kind of one here, but this is what I was looking at, was this little one in here, and then that move up like this. Okay, so I'm looking at this area here, okay, around this 17 or so. And then I know the pullback here. I know that there's more buyers here. So I'm still looking for the continuation. I see the sellers come in. Now this is, look at the selling compared to the buying though. Look at the size of the dots and the strong move in here. This is what I'm leaning on. Right, so I start to look for buyers to start to come in. Where are they starting to come in? Right, I'm looking for the order book to help support me. Now I got in a little too early here, you know, I was looking for the play right up to here just to begin with, you know, or maybe the swing here. I only took a few ticks, 3 ticks. I took some off because we can still get one more move. Back down to this level here. Okay? So I'm not looking for much. I'm just looking for taking some off and then riding the rest. And I made a mistake in here, a pretty big one. I want to cover this with you guys. So I reduced some risk here, and the entry is not so great either. Reduce some risk here though. Looking to, you know, maybe take some off up here, or looking for the continuation and the break of that and move higher here. Now I started to see this come in here, this buying, pull back, very few sellers in here, buying again. At this point here, I got in again. All right, so I had my reasons. I see the buying coming in. I'm leaning on all this in here. I'm looking for the move back up to this swing at least. Okay, and we got a double top in here. When it almost, you know, pretty quickly it went against me. I held it though. Okay, I should have been stopped out at break even. I should have done that. Instead, I held it, thinking, well, you know, look, I got my stop down here, or you know, that's where I want to get out. I'll stay in it. That is a mental error. Just take the loss. It's a small gain, and then you know, take the mix in that loss, small loss as well. Okay, it's not worth it to hold in here. I have no reason to hold in here. There's no order book supporting it. I'm seeing the sellers telling me here to get out. Okay, it held, and we see the buyers start to come back in. So it ended up working out, but this is not a good idea. So I'm scaling into it as it's going in my favor, but then I'm holding as it's going against me in here. Okay, ultimately it worked out. I took another take profit up here, and let's see, what did I do? I took some. Right. Okay, so this is what I did, and then I sold here as well, but it was for more contracts than what I had open. So I was actually short at that point, right? So, you know, it was in with 5 here, out with 3, in with another 5 here. Okay, went against me, came back up, out for 5, so I'm still holding 2. And then it came back up here, and what I did was I hit market sell for 5. So now I'm short 3, and I don't want to be short, so I took a small loss. And this is an error, again, with trade management. So pretty sloppy. Just want to go through the errors in here and some of the trade management. It doesn't matter that it worked out here. This was actually a great trade here, I think. I'll go over this one next, but I want to cover some of the errors in here, and this is all about trade management execution. Okay, now I have my reasons for this working out. That was still intact. Okay, but leveraging that setup in here with solid trade management is the key in execution. And there was some pretty sloppy trade management in here. Okay, we're going to cover this more and more and more, and we're going to get really good at it. Especially Academy guys, you guys are going to love it. Okay, I can't wait to go over more and more of this with you. So it's good stuff, and it should help you optimize any strategy that you're trading. Okay, now scaling in and scaling out is you know, a little more advanced. It can really mess with your mind. So to begin with, it's all in, all out for just the certain move that you're looking for, and that's it. We can go over that, and we will many times. Alan, if you're in here, that's what we've talked about for years. Just looking for your very specific move and then get out. So anyway, this one in here, this was great. Saw this unfolding here, and look again at the same concepts that we were just covering before. So first off, look at the sellers in here. Very quick move to the downside. I'm flat at this point from here, so I'm in my mental state is great. I'm flat. I see buyers trade up into here. A lot of buying stops the market. I see more buying come back in here. Market does not go higher. And then I look at the selling in here compared to the buying up here. And then I'm seeing more buyers come in again. This is the third attempt up here. And I'm seeing buyers. And I think there's even more over here. Yeah, it's at the swing high. And there's some in here as well. Not much. This is not anything to speak of in here. But I'm seeing them pressing it here. All right, so as soon as I see these buyers coming in, I'm in, and then the market gives this to me like a little gift, and I'm out. Okay? And that's it, right? I will take the measured move in here. I'm not looking for a whole lot. It just gave it to me very quickly. Okay, I have my high liquidity up in these areas. I'm out. Right now, ultimately, you can see we retrace all the way back down here. Oh yeah, a couple more little scalps in here. These were actually during a meeting, but again, same idea. If we're going to pull back all the way back to here, and I'm starting to see buyers come back in after the selling here, I'm looking for a move, yeah, maybe back up to about here, just to about here, you know. Not much more, maybe up to here. Okay, so I scaled out some here, and then scaled out some here. I made another mistake in here with that same one. I hit market sell here when it was for, I took off, I was in 5, I took off 3, I still have 2. I hit market sell for 5, and now I'm sorry, God, so I have 5 on. I took off 3. Now my position is 2, and then here's another 5 here. So I just bought at that point because I was overly short here. So that was another trade mistake. So I took a two tick loss on that. Okay. So another error here, mental error. It's been a long week and another mental error. However, this one was pretty clean and clear. Okay, this is all in, all out. Look how I know that there's buyers coming in. I know that we're still seeing a lot of buying strength in here. I'm not looking for too much. I'm just looking for the move up to the top of the range in here. Okay, so it's I'm sorry. So that's what I was looking for earlier. This one here, same idea though. I'm just looking to go up to where these sellers came in, and that's it. Okay, because I know there's a lot of buying in here. Bounces off of where those buyers came in, and then where do those sellers come in on the downside here. So I'm just looking for a few ticks up to here. Does this make sense? Slow down, welcome. Yeah, I just covered a whole bunch of trade management stuff. Slow down. Maybe you want to look at it in 2x during the recording or something. I know you really liked that before we covered the same things. The trade management and decision making here, scaling in, scaling out, etc., and some errors, some pretty big errors in here that I made. Okay, so I wanted to. Oh, you've been in here the whole time. Okay, so I did want to cover that. Because this is where you may have had the right idea, but you mess up on the trade execution. So we have to get really tight with our trade execution. Okay, we have to become experts with trade execution. And that's going to be one of our goals moving forward this year. Okay, so not just having strategies and setups, but executing really well within those strategies and setups. Okay, this is going to be what we're going to cover in the Bookmap Academy many times this year. Okay, go over a lot of trading. Right, so hope you guys like that. I'm looking forward to it, and should be pretty helpful for everybody, I hope. All right, so what did we miss in here? Not much. That high liquidity was never tested yet, and we're kind of going in between a range in here where these sellers came in and dropped this quickly, right? So just right here. Okay, so market structure is now creating this profile here. Biggest weakness, the trade management, Caesar. Welcome, Caesar. Great to have you in. Great to have you in the Bookmap Academy, and pleasure to go over your content yesterday with Slowdown. Slowdown gave you some really good feedback. Yeah, that's what the coaching and mentoring is all about. We've got some great coaches. All right, so now let's take a look at this in here. So look at the buying starting to mount here. I'm looking for them to retest it back up to about 55 here. Okay, now, and then we'll see if it can pick up here at 55. Okay, we're just about there. Okay, there it is. And see, this is where the sellers came in. This is where the little battle's going to shape up here. Now, what's the order book telling us? Not much. It can easily come back down here, and it can easily come back up into 57, 58. Okay. Now, once we get up here, we've auctioned up here. You can see it, buyers and buyers. Okay, and we're up here again, and we're finding buyers. Therefore, I'm leaning on that. We might get a pullback to here, but I'm leaning on this to work out and come up into 57 and 58. Okay, because there's buying pressure in here. It already pulled back. Now we're looking for the move up again. And this is, you can see it's turning into a little bit of a battle zone in here, but I'm looking for buyers to break it here. Okay, we don't have all of the pieces in this one. We don't have the order book yet. It's starting to kind of shape up a little bit. You see it bluish here. So we're looking for those. There we go. There's our buyers. Okay. Now look how, see how the order book a we get a skew in that book in here. We started to note that it's starting to shape up, and then we get the skew here, and we get our buyers at the same moment. Okay, so now we traded up into 57. Okay, and now we're getting our pullback. But you know, that's why we're taking some off in some of these areas in here. We're just looking for these moves up into those areas. Okay, reduce some risk. Now, on this time frame during this webinar, you can use the same concepts and ideas on much higher time frames. Very same concepts. Okay, here we come back up again. We're still finding buyers. Okay, I'm looking for these buyers up here at 57 to break into 58, 59, and 60 in here. Okay, now we're getting our buyers. What about the order book? Not really. You know, they're down here at 54 and a half. Okay, so you know, maybe a pullback to around this 55 and 3/4, 55 and a half. And here we go, looking a little bit better in here. We see them supporting it at a higher level in here. Should get some buyers, and they should be able to break this now. See it. Okay, do have our support. Okay, still getting some sellers. Okay, and we got our little battle shaping up in here. They're on the offer at a lower level here now too. There's our buyers. Okay, buyers, you've got it if you want. No, back to 55 and a half. Again, up here, looking for buyers here. Now they should be able to break it. Now they should be able to break it. Come on, buyers, you got it. You've totally got it here. And again, they've got it. Okay, it took 3 rotations to break it. Okay, so yeah, anyway, a little harder on the trade management on that one. Your stop would have been down in here, or maybe you're looking for pullbacks into here. We had that little bit of a battle in here. It wasn't, there was kind of some moments in here where it wasn't too clear, and here's why. Okay, in here it looked pretty good. I would have loved to have seen these guys get out of the way up here at this 57 level, and they didn't. They stayed in the order book. We see some of it pulled in here. See how it was orange and then it turned yellow. So they pulled some. And then this was odd in here. I don't know why we didn't see the buyers come back in here after auctioning here a bit. We pull back into this kind of level in here where those buyers initiated the move. Again, on a smaller time frame. Does this make sense, guys? Like, see how we can see this in here on a smaller time frame as leaning on this move in here. We get our pullback. And then we get the buyers coming back in. Now, I did not like seeing the offer showing more here at this lower level. I was a little surprised to see the buyers take them on and then we pull back again. And they should have been able to take it through at that point. We pulled back again. We came back up again. We pulled back one more time. And then we got up in here and we got our buyers. Okay, so we got up to 58. And then sellers have come right back in again. Okay, that's why we're taking these small moves in here. They are measured though for this time frame, and we're not looking to knock it out of the park here. All right, here's why. Here's our level in here, or our range, I should say. And here's our measured move. Okay, take some off. Okay, reduce the risk. You can put your stop at break even. You would have been stopped out here. Right? And then that's it. You don't know. You're looking for the next setup. This one didn't work out. Okay, but your trade management worked out for you. Oh, thanks, Doug. You're seeing some pretty high resistance and 47.20 on the SPX. Yeah. Guys, if you aren't aware, Doug Pless, he has a webinar daily at 1:30 East Coast time in the afternoon, and Doug is an options expert. It's pretty amazing what Doug has come up with. I'm amazed by it. I love it. He's looking at a very specific strategy that he developed using gamma levels, understanding some of the options and how they are relating to the order flow in Bookmap. So anyway, come to that webinar if you like. Doug, God, I didn't even turn on the mic in here if you like. If you have anything to say. If you anything you want me to take a look at. Okay, so let's take a look in here. Let me know, Doug. So the order flow is starting to kind of shift and change a bit in here. You can see, okay, see the shift. This is they're not, the sellers aren't out of the woods yet, okay, but buyers can still come in up in here, right, and move this market. However, this is a shift I'm talking about right here. Can you guys see that? Okay, we have buyers, a lot of buyers, especially we can just go up to here at this point. See all the bars, see all the dots, and then look at from this point over to here. See all the sellers, see all the dots. Okay, there's more sellers coming in. This is how we can start to spot order flow reversals. And look at this, on the offer at a lower area, on the offer at lower areas in here. Okay, starting to pull maybe on the bid, on the offer again, on the offer again. What's the reaction? Context is finding sellers. Therefore, we're looking for sellers to hit into this area of liquidity. Okay, it's already done it. All right, so now looking for maybe a brief pullback, maybe back up to about here. Okay, and then so our sellers into here. Here's our pullback. Okay, and now looking for sellers to come again and maybe trade back down to 51.5. Okay, so now we're looking for sellers here at our 53.5. Okay, there's some exhaustion. Let's see if we get our sellers, and sellers should be able to move it. Nope, not yet. Okay, take one more leg, one more shot back up to here. Well, we didn't quite get them. We got some in here. We didn't quite get them at the lower level here. Let's just zoom in. We got a few. Okay, that's surprising. Okay, so yeah, got that one wrong. Buyers have moved it right back up into here. Everything was looking pretty good in here for that second leg lower. And the buyers have come in instead. Now we've covered this a lot in here, and this is where just take your loss on these. It's only a few ticks of a loss in here, and the reason being is this is flipped. This is a book flip basically. You can see it's very visual in Bookmap. This was resistance here. Buyers have traded through that area, and now what was resistance is now support. Okay, see it here? Hold on. See it here? From here over to here. Okay? And we actually kind of bounce off of that, and we see the continuation move. All right. So this would have been like a small loss. Right. The bigger loss would be missing this move in here. But I don't see a whole lot to lean on, to be honest, on that one. This is hard to kind of read that this was going to come in higher here. All right, we had this whole reversal kind of set up. We see the selling starting to come in. We're just looking for a retest back down into the swing here, basically. There's some exhaustion. Sellers come in. Let's see if the sellers can hit back down to about 56. Should be able to. Because of the lack of buying up here. And let's see. And our liquidity here, maybe even down to 55 here, because that's where we see that kind of book. The liquidity is here at 56, but 55 is where we saw that kind of change right here. Anyway, guys, this is small time frames that we're going over, but we're going over many instances of it. So we can go over higher time frame stuff too. It's the same ideas and concepts though. That's good. But once we understand these concepts and have been kind of battle tested, we can also just, you can kick back and you can look for those things to unfold. This is a weird move that, we see the buyers coming back in up here. There's no doubt it's been bullish today from the news events. However, this is you see this big pullback in here, and then it just kind of grinds higher and grinds higher in here. It's not really picking up a lot of momentum in here. We could get that right in here now. That's possible. It's just kind of a grind though right in here. This move here. All right, I'm going to clear the drawings. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Rui, let's see here. Yeah, you want to see Trader Map Pro? Okay, we can. We might be able to do that. It might be better to cover that in NASDAQ. We'll see the difference there. Okay, yeah, we'll go over it. And then Billy, let's see, we're about days when we up slowly. Yeah, it can be hard. But you're just kind of temper those expectations. And then also look for your moves again. Like there's reasons why measured moves work, and it has nothing to do with fibs. It has everything to do with a market breadth and who's willing to auction at certain areas, and they're just not willing to take it in further areas. So these moves are kind of you can see kind of equal. Here we have one that's not equal. Okay, this one's going to be equal to these over here as well. And then actually this one's starting to pick up a little more, of a price change here. So due to that, then maybe this one's going to be a little less. And then maybe we're going to get a little bit more on the downside here. And then come back down to about 50, 1 or 52 down here, right? Just due to understanding the moves and where traders are willing to pay for higher prices or not. Okay, all right, let's jump over to NASDAQ. We'll go over this Trader Map Pro quickly. Okay, so the NASDAQ has shown this for a while now. On a minute. It's not showing it now. Interesting. Well, if we zoom in here, I guess we'll probably see some of it here. That liquidity very close to price. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So see this liquidity in here on the offer and then on the bid down here. And here's current, or here's the price action, and see how it's just mirroring that. But you know, something like 10 points away or so. Yeah, 10 points away. So on the bid here and then on the offer up here. Right. So you know these are algos that are you know, staying in the order book and willing to continue to stay in the book until a certain area unfolds, and they will then they will not move away. And you can start to see maybe traces of that in here. And then you can see this is maybe just a different player altogether in here, and provides liquidity in there. So at a certain point, yeah, they'll stay in the order book. They'll get filled. They're not here just to, you know, stay away from getting filled. So, you know, we look for those little areas. Now, this can be really kind of disruptive in trying to read the order flow in Bookmap. Okay, we can still, today's not bad because you see these areas of very high liquidity that stay in the order book in here that are giving us pretty good insight. Okay, so for example, looking for these buyers to take these guys on here at 570, and then let's see, how did we auction up here before? Not bad. Yeah, I would say we could break this here. Looks like we already came back down, tested the bottom of this range. We're seeing lots of buyers, so I'm looking for them to break it, and then maybe they can trade up to about 75 or 80 up here. Okay, we can take a measured move of that as well, and take that, then move that up to about 80. Okay, it looks pretty good. All right, let's see it, buyers. There they are. And then now we're looking for the markup period. Okay, so that's for slowdown. He likes the Wyckoff, looks at a very specific Wyckoff strategy that he's really become an expert in, okay, with his Wyckoff spring. And here, what we're talking about is, well, accumulation phase and in consolidation, and then yeah, so basically the market goes back and forth within an area, and then it will you'll see accumulation in an area, and then it breaks out, okay? And then it's markup phase. It's exploring higher prices until it can't any longer, and then once it can't, then we start to see maybe distribution unfold, and then maybe we get a markdown phase at that point, and maybe it's too high. So anyway, we're looking for the markup phase right now here in the NASDAQ. Okay, it's been in this accumulation mode in here, and now we're looking for this kind of breakout. Okay, so far so good. Okay, pull back. Now, how's the auction look up here? Nothing yet. It's coming back up here. I just don't see a lot of buyers yet. And that's not good. So another rotation. Might even see sellers go through our breakout area. Now, if that is the case, get stopped out at break even. You know, consider it at least. Okay, we were looking for this move to unfold up into this 80 level up here. We didn't get there. We got up to 75, 76. Yes, it is. It's very safe to say, GH, that it is the market orders that move the market. Yeah, that's why they're called aggressors. There's a buyer for every seller. But if there are more aggressive buyers, they will trade into a liquidity, take all of that liquidity, and they will match. The matching engine in the exchange will match the buyers and the sellers. However, if there are more sellers, for example, than buyers, it will move to the next price level. Okay, so yeah, that's what moves the market. In fact, you might want to go to our knowledge base, or I'm sorry, learning center again here, okay, from bookmap.com. More button, learning center here, and then you can go into the market mechanics course here, and we go through all of that in the basics here. Okay, we go over in diagram form again as well, so that you can understand the concepts and then look at some real examples in here. Here's the diagram. Yeah, here we go. This kind of stuff. All right. Thanks, Stephen. Excellent. Hey, there's slowdown's spring example right there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Picture perfect. Just great. Look at this. How many of these have we seen, guys? How many times have we seen exactly this? Unbelievable. It's fantastic. There's something in here that I really like as well. There's criteria. Remember how we're talking about all of this in here and then looking for something here to play out, okay, for moving forward. They were leaning on something and looking for this to be a foundation to build from a higher likelihood of an outcome. So this is where, you see the sellers come back down, break below the range. It totally rejects. Buyers come in here, and this is where he's looking to enter, and he's looking for his first target at the other side of the range, and then maybe continuation back up into these areas up here. Okay, beautiful stuff. We had a few examples last night in the Bookmap Academy meeting about the criteria. Okay, here it is in a diagram form. This is the criteria slowdown's looking for. Okay, etch this into your mind and into your memory, and then you look for this to unfold, and you know how to react when this scenario unfolds. That's why we go through the scenarios. So last night when we went through, or yesterday afternoon, we went through criteria of crash F16. Now he had it in a list form in text. Okay, so in the Bookmap Learning Center, we have it in both here. Okay, in the strategies and setups, we have it in the diagram form here. Then what it looks like in Bookmap, and then here we have it also in text, okay, with your checklist. What are you looking for? Do you have this? Check. How good does it look? Grade it. Okay. That's when you can use this tool in here. And boy, this a really roundabout way of getting to, where's our tool? We'll get to the Trader Map Pro now. I'm sorry about that. Really went off on a tangent there. Okay, and then this tool here to go through your checklist. What are you looking for? All right. So anyway, yep, sorry about that. That was Rui, I think, right? See, talked about spread on TraderMap Pro? Don't recall that. So, oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so let's go to TraderMap Pro in here and let's get rid of this kind of halo effect around the current price, or the best bid and offer. So this is part of the Bookmap MBO bundle, and it's right here. You get it for free, or it's included. We've added more and more value to the Bookmap MBO bundle. This was one of them. And it makes sense because this kind of filtering does require market by order data from Rhythmic. All right, so let's take a look here. We'll create a new one altogether, and I'll show you the steps here. So first off, we select NQH here. That's what symbol we're looking at, and then we add the study here, or the filter. Okay, and then we're going to look in here. We're going to do the order change filter. Okay, and then show orders, only the orders that were changed or not changed. Okay, now see how these orders in here are they're always changing, right? They're changing, they're moving, because price moves and they change and they move along with it. So we're going to filter for not changed. And then we're going to look at price. Okay, that's it. And we're going to press play. Now, what TraderMap Pro does is it opens a whole new symbol here, as you can see it up here. Okay, this is where we came from. Now it opens up a new symbol here. And this is our new symbol and our new heat map. Okay, it's just loading. And let's see what this heat map looks like. Still loading here. Let's see if we can get to some other questions along the way. Futures versus stocks, BAP. Yeah, sure. Let's go over this TraderMap Pro, but it's kind of similar. They're kind of related, so it's a good time to cover that as well. Guys, look at the distinction here. Look at the difference. Okay, so let me take this and show it here on the. Show it here. All right. So here is, and let's just link these together so they move together. So here's our NASDAQ over here, right? We see the algos here changing in price. Look at the TraderMap Pro in here. We filtered them out because they changed in price. Now we're looking for those that don't change. They're staying in the order book. Okay, I hope that helped you, Rui. Yeah, so I covered that. Why not changed? Because these changed here. We don't want to see the ones that changed. We want to see the ones that did not change. Okay, makes sense? Yeah. So giving us some pretty good info in here. Yeah, you can also go by other filters in here as well. This one's pretty simple and straightforward though. So here you go. Now your NASDAQ is a lot more useful. Okay, see how this area up in here, see how they changed or stayed? They did not change, they stayed in the order book. You can kind of see it in here a little bit, but it's really apparent here. Okay. Look, we're coming right back up in here. Now, if we get our buyers in here again, okay, let's just zoom in here. Get our buyers in here. See, we've just come up to where the sellers came in, and we've pulled back now. Okay, and we pulled back again here. We got to get, let's see if we can get more buyers again right now, right here around 572. There they are. Is it enough? Not yet. Here we go. Let's see a retest. No, nothing. See, that's why we have to zoom in a little bit here. Buyers buyers at a lower area. That's not what we want to see. This is not what we want to see. See how these guys, like they're fighting it, and then they'll get stopped out to the downside here. Okay, so we're looking for them, but they have to overpower these guys here. That's what we're looking for. Not just a little bit of buying. We're looking for a lot more buying. And then come back up in here, and again, a lot more buying. Then we can come back up in these areas. Okay, so now we've traded back down to our kind of where these buyers came back in. A little bit of a kind of back and forth in here. Okay, so okay, let's see if we can get them in here now. Again, back up here, basically right here at this kind of 5.6 or 570 level. Nope, not seeing them. Okay, more sellers. Sellers should be able to move it lower in that case. And now we find some buyers. Okay, now we're getting our buyers up here. All right, let's see if they can trap all of these sellers in here looking for a big green dot. There we go. Now let's see the buyers move it up to 72 and then maybe 75 up here. Okay, so we're kind of seeing that shift and change in here. Okay, back up and a bit more, and we should get the break up into 75 for it. A lot of buying. Here we go. 75 is the target. And we're back up and we're auctioning it again, so we're still looking for 75 here. Okay, we could even go up to 78 and 80 that we were looking for earlier. Back up in here. Be high for the day. These Nasdaqs, usually it will just go. You don't get this back and forth like this. Here we go. All right, let's see that markup phase now. 75, take some off. And stopped out at break even. All right, let's see. Yeah, what your question here? Let's put Trader Map Pro back into. If we just close it there, it'll come back into the main. You know, with the toolbar here, it'll populate back into the tabs here. The spread that you're talking about, yeah, the spread will widen out depending on the filter that we're using. Okay, so for example, let's go back to the Nasdaq and let's add another. We'll create a new one in here. We'll add a new one. We can go with an order size filter, or maybe order size. I like this one in here, order size percentage. Okay, so yeah, we get the output here of like at 20%, you know, keep the order size above 40. Now this is going to affect the change or the spread in here. Okay, no question about it. right? You're going to see wherever there's 40 in the order book, that's where that spread is going to go. Okay, so we click play, it opens up a new symbol over here, and see how it says OSF percentage, order size filter percentage. Okay, and we will see the spread now widen. Okay, so it's only showing where there's 40 or more in the order book. So there's 90 down here and there's 90 here. So clearly a larger player. We're running right into that algo. That was 10 points away, in fact. So this is a pretty horrible filter. It's not helping us at all. But anyway, you can see the spread in here. If you don't like that, you want to get rid of that spread. This is exactly what we don't want to see. But if you see how the spread is synthetic now, but we can add another. There's another add-on that can overcome that, and that is with the let's see here, cross BBO. Okay, and we're going to look at the cross BBO here from the NASDAQ from Rhythmic here. Okay, it's just populating now. Okay, so we're going to have two best bids and two best offers. Okay, and here they are. Okay, so here's one best offer here. Here's another one, this darker red. This darker green is one best bid, and here's the other one down here. Okay. GH, no, so did you sign up for the Bookmap Academy? Great. Just once you sign up, I'll show you where to go. Okay, so go to our Discord channel, and then you'll see under Bookmap Academy, you have to scroll down, okay, from the top here. You'll see Bookmap Academy in here. Here, I'll put the link into the chat for you. And then you click on this one here, Academy Applicants, because that's what you are. You've just applied for it. And then the first thing to do in here is request a spreadsheet in here. All right, so I'm going to copy this link for you. I'll put it into the chat for you. Here you go. And see if you can get in. Okay, it'll probably bring you into the community guidelines if you're brand new. I mean, first you have to have a Discord account. You have to sign up for Discord, and then use that link. You can always reach out to us and support, and then request your spreadsheet in there. The reason we do that is that we need to first capture your email for the Bookmap Academy, and then all our communication in the community and for the Bookmap Academy is done in Discord. So we need you also to, might as well just ask for the spreadsheet in Discord, and we'll give it to you there. We've captured your, we know that your email is related to your Discord, and you're set to go. All right. Yeah, it's important. And then starts filling out your spreadsheet. Guys, I would really highly recommend, so we had a great meeting yesterday, went through a lot of stuff. You may consider get going maybe today with a couple of images for your spreadsheet to mark up, okay, and paste the link into the spreadsheet, and then also do it early next week, because our Bookmap Academy meeting is on Thursday at market close. So if you do it earlier, we can get it to the coaches. We can get it so they can give you feedback on it. So that would be my my comment or suggestion to you. Okay, so Rui, I think I answered your question about this Trader Map Pro. Who's the demo trader in here? I forget. Oh, that's Steven. Okay. Hi, Steven. All right, guys. Well, anyway, this one's not helping us much. It was more for the demo in here. We didn't demo any market pulse. Guys, we'll do that next week. But you know, the market pulse, we've been demoing it a lot lately. So I thought we'd take a little bit of a break and go over the Trader Map Pro and then also some of the Academy stuff that we went through. Where this Nasdaq's all over the place. Look at this move. Yeah, just could not get into 80 up here. Sellers coming in hand over fist here. Okay, moving that market lower. And that's another reason why, like, you know, we look for and try to read the order flow in here. But, and this is a really important concept that we cover in that flag pattern, is start to understand trap traders, where they are, and then what their reactions are going to be. So here, for example, this is where we saw the breakout, right? Up to the top of the range in here, 75, take some off. Looking for a pullback here. And this is where I can understand maybe some not only confusion, but frustration with the flag pattern, because we're looking for that to continue. We did get an auction up here. We do see some buyers up in here. Not enough, and we want to see them at the top of the range too. And that's where they can break it. And then what we get instead is heavy selling back down here. They blaze right through this 63 area here, this previous structural area in here. And in fact, if we zoom in here, this is how you're going to see a low volume node in here, most likely. Yeah, you do. I mean, there's a bunch of them though. And then the sellers really picked it up here. So they're going to move it away from this whole area in here. And there's going to be huge stop runs to the downside here. Okay, now this is on Trader Map Pro. For stops and icebergs, it will not work. You need to have stops and icebergs here on the regular symbol. And the reason being is that we filtered the heat map. We filtered out some of the stops and icebergs. You're not going to get a good reading anymore. All right, so we can look at CVD or something else. All right, so just note that stops and icebergs won't work on your filtered Trader Map Pro. Yeah, that breakout move, that measured move that we're looking for up into 80, it failed once, came back up and it failed again. And then also a lower high in here. We see the buyers, lower high though. And then we see the sellers curl in here and really curl in down below the range here. Anyway, good stuff. Good to cover that Trader Map Pro and get a lot more out of it in here. Useful heat map for us. Let's jump back over to the S&P. All right, so this is kind of where we left off here. Remember, kind of odd move, strong move, but then the pullback, and then this move was really kind of weird, I thought. And then we started to suggest that the selling moves were coming a little bit bigger. And then we're looking for a selling move to be bigger here. It wasn't. It actually took place a little bit later. It did one more retest here, and then it took place. And then we got back up in here, and then it failed in here. So we were on to something in here. We started to see that unfold in the market structure. This is why market structure is so important. And we want to understand the order flow within the market structure. It is the order flow that makes up the market structure. Okay, so when you guys are looking at any sort of indicator, it is typically based off of the order flow of some way, shape, or form. It's usually time, price, and volume, or some sort of combination of it. Doesn't have to be, but a lot of times it is. All right, so just keep that in mind. So like even like if you're looking at your point of control, note that that is made up of and why it moves from one area to another is due to the transactions. Okay, it becomes more of a value area, that it more traded level, and you'll see that move. So when it moves, it gives you insight that, wow, okay, there was some trading. Let's suppose that, let's just add it in here. Okay, so there was some trading here is a good example. A lot of traders down in this area down here earlier. Even though price kept on going back up, this was the most traded level at that time until it started to go back and forth up in here in a consolidation. Then we got the move up. Now this is bullish. Right? This was a most traded level. Now its most traded level is higher. Okay, by far the most traded level. And it's still kind of creeping up in here. And, you know, that would suggest, you know, higher prices in general. And a little bit on the downside here, but it's still trading. So this is bullish. Right? So now it depends on how you want to trade. You know, if you use lines like this as your market structure, okay, well, you have something here. Okay, now we want the order flow or the traders or the behavior in here to tell us that we're going to come back up here and retest this most traded level. And we have high liquidity here. This is great. We've been watching this high liquidity the entire session. All right, now we haven't even traded into it. Well, maybe we will now. Okay, so we're also looking for, again, another market structure. Look at this small profile in here. Most traded level is right here, okay, around just below 50. Okay, we're just tapping it right now. Scenario to understand and go through: how will we react if we get big green dots up here? Okay, we see a skew in the order book underneath. Maybe this liquidity gets tired of waiting in here. Maybe they pull and add up here. We get big green dots. Well, it's looking pretty good that we will at least trade up to 55. Again, market structure and order flow. And using, in this case, just going through a scenario with point of control. I find it, yeah, I like it. I just find it a little distracting for me. I like to really understand, maybe this up here I want to understand, or this down here in a profile I want to understand. Okay, I like to look at the swings mostly though. Who's in control and moves. We know that that really strong buying, and then like, yeah, this was just odd as we noted. So this pullback isn't a surprise. Now it's a big question. We have the European close just now. We have high liquidity underneath, and we haven't traded into it yet. Okay, and are we getting our buyers into the area we're looking for? Not really. Not really. They're making lower highs in here. That's not what we want to see. Okay, so in fact, scenario, or maybe a trade opportunity potentially, could be if the buyers can't make a higher high in here, watch this bottom edge here and look for sellers. Okay, and then for them to trade into the high liquidity down here. And let's see if we can get it here. Looking for those sellers, looking for the order flow in here as well. The offers at a lower area be great. And let's see. So now again, talk about accumulation and distribution. This is accumulation in here, and we look for it to distribute out and mark down to the high liquidity here. Okay. Not seeing it yet. The scenario is not even close to unfolding. There's nothing there that's really telling us much, but we're looking for it. All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Hit the like button if you can. We're happy to go through this content for you, and also happy to provide the Bookmap Academy if you're interested in taking this further. We'll go through and give feedback on your images. Here we go. Here are sellers. Okay, sellers, let's see you move it here. Not seeing the big selling dots yet. There they are. Okay, sellers should be able to move it into that high liquidity now. And note the fuel that they have here. All of that accumulation in here will be distributed down here in the markdown phase. Okay, pull back. They pull back to where it broke from, right back into the middle here. And looking for, again, sellers to come in. Okay. So let's see if we can see them. They got to be right in here, right around this 47.5. There's a few. There they go. More than that, and let's see them mark it down here. Okay, we didn't get through that point of control. Looking for the sellers to drop this and meet the buyers down here. Let's clear our drawings. Not a whole lot of sellers here, kind of exhausted out. Okay, so still looking for that scenario. We've tested twice down here and we didn't find sellers. I don't like it. Okay, again, the traders are telling us, okay, how many sellers are down here. They should be able to move it. We're finding, and we're leaning on all of this in here. Not enough buyers, not enough buyers, not enough buyers. Buyers up here, just not enough. Still a lower high here, equal lows here on very little selling. So here we go again. There is some exhaustion. Here come the sellers. They ought to be able to move it. They're auctioning here. They should be able to explore lower levels into high liquidity down in these levels here. And this is the perfect time for them to move it right here. Funny, I mean, we're seeing a move. It's just not with a lot of conviction here. I'm really looking for a big, we do see a stop run here. It's just not that big. I'm looking for a pretty big one, right into all of this liquidity in here. I mean, they've been waiting patiently the entire session. And a lot more liquidity has come in since too, here, down at 47.40. Is it safe to say large algos pretty much run the market and determine price? No, I wouldn't. The market's complex. It's filled with all sorts of different actors. I mean, we've seen this, and so, since the get-go, since we ever had stops and icebergs in here, we can identify larger player activity with the icebergs. However, we've never used it as a signal. We've always used it as a confluence because there's so many other players besides this is just one element within the players. Now it's an important one, but it's not everything. Okay, even icebergs, it's not all of the icebergs. It's only CME native icebergs. Okay, there's a lot of synthetic ones. We are only able to show and display the transactions of the native CME icebergs. Okay, and you can see how it's pretty wonky. We've covered how to read it many times, especially this last week. So I hope that you guys find that helpful. Very specific questions from various traders. Boy, this is taking its time, guys. So we're going to call it quits here. Still looking for that scenario to unfold. We're starting to see buyers now start to come in too. So like it's still looking for it, but like it's not as clear as it was, I thought, a little earlier. But anyway, it's still in play. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. Have a great weekend. Hit the like button, please. We'll cover more and more content like this, and we're happy to have you come into the Bookmap Academy, and we'll give you some coaching and feedback on your imagery. So hope to see you in there, and then partake in the Bookmap Academy on Thursday at market close. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.